Hi there. In this video we are going to learn about adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. And I'm hoping that for some of you, or I'm hoping that this is a refresher for some of you. So, let's see here. Let's do an adding problem. The main thing that we want to remember when we're adding or subtracting polynomials is that we need to combine like terms. So the first way we're going to do it is we are going to do an adding problem. And we will set this up vertically. So we have 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 9. And to that we will add x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11. So if we add these together, we just add them vertically. So we have negative 9 positive 11 equals 2. We have 3x plus nothing, which is just 3x. We have negative 5x squared. Whoops, that's supposed to be a 6x squared. Negative 5x squared plus 6x squared is just 1x squared. And we have 2x cubed plus 3x cubed, which is 3x cubed. Now what I failed to do before I set up this problem for you was to write the problem out. And if I said to you, I want you to add 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 9, and to that, that's my dog wanting cat food, I want you to add x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11. And so the way I set it up vertically was I want to line up the like terms vertically. So I've got two constants. I only have one linear term, and so I have to add nothing to that, so I line that up. I've got a quadratic column and I've got a cubic column. So if we wanted to, we could do the same thing, line up a problem vertically if we were subtracting. The one major thing is we want to remember that we are subtracting and not adding. So, for example, if I was doing this same problem but subtracting, pretend that's a subtraction, I'm subtracting x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11 from the first one, I would set it up the same way, vertically. But I would want to make sure that I paid attention to that subtraction. So I would do negative 9 minus positive 11, which is negative 20. 3x minus nothing, which is just 3x. Negative 5x squared minus 6x squared, which is minus 11x squared. And 2x cubed minus 1x cubed, which is just x cubed. So you just want to be really aware of that negative sign. So let's do another problem. Let's look at 3x squared minus 2y squared minus 7y, and from that I want to subtract negative 4x squared. Oh, you know what? That should be an x. X and x, sorry. Plus 2x minus 5. So instead of setting this up vertically, let's do this horizontally. So I don't even need to rewrite it. So what I want to do is say I have 3x cubed minus, oh look, no x cubed terms there, so this is just 3x cubed. Then I have negative 2x squared minus a negative 4x squared gives me a positive 2x squared. And what I like to do is after I deal with each one, I cross them out. Then I have negative 7x minus 2x gives me minus 9x. Cross them out. Then I have minus, alright, you can think of it, I have 0 over here because there's no constant, so I have just minus a negative 5, which is plus 5. So there is my answer. So that's adding and subtracting in a nutshell. Multiplying. Okay, if I want to multiply, I can, again, I can set them up vertically. So let's say that I had negative 2y plus 3y minus 6, and I'm multiplying that by y minus 2. And I'm going to set this up vertically. So I do negative 2y plus 3y minus 6. I have y minus 2, and I'm multiplying these bad boys. So pretty much I want to multiply this, negative 2, by this term, and this term. So I have negative 2 times negative 6 is 12. Negative 2 times 3y is minus 6y. Negative 2 times negative 2y is 4y. Now, I am going to do the same thing with this second term. I'm going to multiply y by each term. And I'm going to line them up vertically under the like term. So I have y times negative 6 gives me negative 6y. Y times 3y gives me 3y squared. And then y, whoop, that's supposed to be a squared. Oh, squared. Hold on. Squared, squared. So, oh, my bad. Let's go back here. I have y, negative 2 times negative 2y squared. That should be 4y squared. I apologize. Okay, let's go back to here. So I have y times 3y gives me 3y squared, and then y times negative 2y squared gives me negative 2y cubed. If that makes sense. And I apologize. Okay, now let's add our like terms. So I have 12. Negative 6y and negative 6y gives me negative 12y. 4y squared and 3y squared gives me 7y squared. Negative 2y cubed, I'm adding that to nothing. I just have negative 2y cubed. So my answer is negative 2y cubed plus 7y squared minus 12y plus 12. Okay, another way we could do this is, let's say I want to do this horizontally. So I'm going to draw a little division line here so you don't get all confused by my writing. Let's say I want to multiply x plus 3 times 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. So pretty much I want to multiply this x term by each of these terms. So I have x times 3x squared gives me 3x cubed. X times minus 2x gives me negative 2x squared. X times 4 gives me plus 4x. Now I'm going to do the same deal with the 3. So I have 3 times 3x squared gives me 9x squared. 3 times negative 2x gives me minus 6x. 3 times 4 gives me 12. Now it's time to combine like terms. Alright, I've only got one x cubed term, so I've got 3x cubed. That's gone. I've got negative 2x squared plus 9x squared gives me plus 7x squared. Those are gone. I have 4x minus 6x gives me negative or minus 2x, gone. And then I just have plus 12. So you can multiply either using the vertical format or the horizontal format, whichever one works for you. Okay, some special product patterns. There's some of these that you've already seen. So let's see here. We've got a plus b times a minus b. Well, that's difference of squares. That gives me a squared minus b squared. Square of a binomial, if I have a plus b all squared, that gives me a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Similarly, if I have a minus b squared, I have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, you've already learned these three special products. What about if we really step it up a notch and we say, what about a plus b cubed? Oh, well, that gives me a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. For example, if I did, let's do a different color, x plus 2 cubed, well, that gives me x cubed plus, let's see here, 3a squared b. Well, so I have b is 2, a is x, so I have 3 times 2, which is 6, x squared, plus 3 times x times 2 squared, so I have 12a. No, that's not an a, 12x, plus 2 cubed is 8. So that would be my answer. If I did a minus b cubed, that would give me a cubed minus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared minus b cubed. All right, an example. Let's say I have x minus 3 cubed. Well, a cubed is just going to be x cubed minus 3 times a squared is x squared. B is 3, so that'll be minus 9x squared plus 27x minus 27. All right, we will practice with these in class tomorrow.